Hey, AfterBuzz TV fans, tune in now. We're talking about MK getting his powers back, Nathaniel Moon making his move on Lydia, and Tilda meeting back up with her mama. Tune in.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back. This is Season 3, Episode 3. We're talking about leopard snares rabbits. We've got the full panel.
Hey!
What up, what up? Usual now. I'm JB. I'm your host. Sitting beside
Alexis Torres. Hey guys.
Hi, I'm Joelle. This episode was wild.
What up? It's your boy J.A.
Awesome. Yeah, we're obviously going to break down the episode as usual, but we've got a special segment coming up near the end, some fan shout-outs, some news and gossip. It's going to be a great after show. Like it was a great episode. I mean, we started off with the bang, as usual. Tilda just going right from training mode, putting it directly into action, and like murdering
Making
30 people.
Dumb decisions, not
Star.
thinking about anything.
I don't know what to do about Tilda.
Tilda was a problem this episode.
I
Like, we
don't
can talk
know.
about how much of a problem Tilda was this episode.
And Joelle could attest that in the beginning of this episode, I was like, Tilda's doing so great. Her fighting's doing so well.
Look at her
She's
grow.
like being independent. Everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, well, maybe I want to come back. Son of a bitch. I'm so mad.
See, and I was totally on the opposite side of you because I thought Tilda should go back. We just had a conversation about like when you're closing into the fold, you can do more and you like compromise. And she's just like, I don't know what to do, but I still need a head nod from my mom to leave. Tilda, girl, you gotta grow up. You gotta make some adult ass decisions.
Right. I mean, I think she still is always going to look up to the widow in a lot of ways. It's her mom. I mean, come on.
But
You're thinking logically, but I hate it.
No, I hate everything about it.
But I mean, I will give her kind of some credit because when she was talking with Lydia, right as she almost killed her, she really took that advice to heart. I mean, Lydia's kind of like been her new mom, her adopted stepmom.
Did she take it to heart? At what point did she take it to heart?
she because, or to me at least, she kind of put that into action with the widow. Like she was listening to Lydia, and she's like,
Which is
you
what
know,
you
you
were
can't
defending.
always be like, you know, a person that's super aggressive and takes everything that you want. Like things that you
We
kind of
did
have to
see
be
some
political
negotiation.
can we talk about
plan and
the betrayal though, with the whole like get out now and like all this other stuff with the little courier pigeon?
yeah.
You mean Lydia's
Yeah.
betrayal?
Yeah, literally, because it's kind of like you're talking about where she's kind of pining for her affection, but then she was also like, well, you betrayed me in the sense of where you like, you know, warned me, but then you also like, you know, kind of set it up where it's like, well, you warned me enough, but then all like my butterflies and all the stuff, like they're all being killed. So it's just kind of like an interesting dynamic to see like the two of them like interact with each other.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we're at war. So again, this goes to Tilda's needing to grow the F up.
Yeah.
Because the
I
idea
can
of like,
agree to that.
I told you to get out. You said go get supplies. We don't
Yeah.
have time for supplies. Get out means you need
Get
to
out now.
leave. What are you holding? Take it. Move. We just don't. We don't have the time to play games.
Yeah.
And to your point, I do think we saw her negotiate a little bit and
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, she's trying to grow and develop. And I get it, but I'm still like. It just feels like such small baby steps. Lydia's point of like, look, I'm seeing some things in you that I wish I had seen in Ryder, and I just really feel
don't talk
like it could
about
be
Ryder
a
in the
great.
Yeah, right.
We don't talk
Oh,
about
There's a
Ryder in the
moratorium
show.
on Ryder?
No. It's just that from JB and I's perspective, every time we brought up Ryder, we were just like, oh my god, we want him to die. He's the dumbest character. Oh my god. Anyway,
He is.
Ryder,
was a very
Ryder was
disappointing
the
son.
14-year-old boy of the show. He's just like, but I'm in love.
or like,
F
but
you, Dad.
or like, yeah, it was just like against his dad, and I was just like, oh my god, can someone just put this poor thing out of its misery? We don't need you here.
He is the Star Lord of this universe. Yes.
Oh, you had to go
Star-Lord?
there, didn't you?
I did.
Wow.
Star-Lord.
If you haven't
You
seen
know?
Infinity War,
There
go
it
see
is.
it.
Yeah. See it,
Go
please.
see it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just so tough because I want Tilda to just grow more, whether it's in her fighting or whether it's in her personality or whether it's in her story arc. And I feel like it was close in that
Right.
perspective. And then all of a sudden, I feel like she just kind of backtracked. Like it was just gone.
Interesting. Like you mean when she was talking to the widow?
Yeah, I mean, I understood why there was the comparison there because she just talked to Lydia. But I
Right.
also feel like Lydia's advice only pertains to Lydia. I feel like it doesn't work for other people.
I don't know. I feel like that was pretty sage in my like because
I don't know.
I mean, maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but it felt
no.
like, you know, she was trying to explain that things like to get what you want in the end, like you kind of have to make compromises and you kind of have to be like
no, but I agree
play
with
the
that.
long game.
No, I agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. That
long game as opposed to a short game.
yeah, but I think that Lydia is giving good advice. Tilda is not mature enough to understand what the advice is. She doesn't break it down correctly.
Right.
She's growing. I mean, I think eventually she'll get there. But like from like the first 2 seasons to now, like I think I like her character the most in this season, especially like the fight scenes and the choreography and just the fight with him and Moon. I was like, wow. I was like, you're kind of like, you know, holding your own right now.
Yeah, Moon fighting with just his like hand is so awesome.
So dope, and especially when he when his like sword came out.
We got a full length sword this week.
Yeah,
It's
it's like a retractable sword.
You had mentioned it in the.
Okay, hold on, real quick. Just going off of what Alexa just mentioned about how Tilda doesn't take the advice, or like how she's processing the advice that Lydia just gave her. Pretty much, I think there is a evidence to support that she took that advice and she used it right away. Especially, like she said, if you want to take down the world that you live in, and like I'm paraphrasing, but she said something along that line. Take down the world that you live in. You have to really live in it first, and what that means to me is that like you have to be in it. You have to know the ins and outs of how this place works in order to dismantle it brick by brick from the inside. So she saw that instance when the widow offered her that inside the door to the inside. She considered it. She took it. That's why. She's playing the same game that Lydia is playing.
Wait, door to the inside. What?
As in to the inside of the compound. As in, like, if she wants to take down the widow, she's gonna go from the inside, be a part of her, gain her trust, then turn on her.
So no,
just like Lydia
here's
is
the
doing.
problem with that. If you're like really, the advice is learn what the hell is happening. The advice is like maybe observe. Like you already have me, a spy, on the inside. Come get some information. Like to trudge straight through the poppy fields to the door and be like, I'm making demands. And again, if we're looking at military strategy, like I'll stop raiding you is a really, really bad like term of agreement. You're getting essentially your right hand back, and all I'm getting is your word that you're not going to continue to raid my compounds. That doesn't make any sense. Again, just from a military standpoint, if you're going to be a leader and lead people to freedom, you need to be able to meet these women at their playing level, and you're just not there yet, girl, and you're not making smart decisions to get yourself there. Leaving was a bad decision. Making the widow think you're her friend, making the widow think like, oh, I will be your right hand, and at the same time, I can still control my girls on the outside. At the same time, I can learn the operations. At the same time, I can be learning from Lydia. There are a lot of options for her if she had stayed. Going now, you're back in the dark. You're exactly where you shouldn't be.
And the fact that Widow even said, like, oh, I'm waiting for her to come back. That's why I wanted her to do the opposite, because I feel like Widow already knew and already read her. I wanted Tilda to be better and be like, no, I'm going to meet you on even playing ground and also fight you on it. You know what I mean? Instead of be like, I'm going to come crawling back because you called it.
But you guys are forgetting that she had Odessa. Like, she is going there to save her friend. It's not like it was just between her and the widow.
Her girlfriend. Let's be real specific about it.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. I get that she's in love. I totally get that she's making rash decisions, and it is very true to the character. So I'm not calling into question any of the writing. This is just me passionately defending. Like, I love you. I want you to stay alive. And while I don't think the widow has it in you to kill you, because the widow doesn't. If the widow had the nerve to kill her, she would be dead.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, but I think she knew the widow like enough to know that wasn't going to happen.
I mean, she called and she said it too. But I don't know. I want just a little bit more. She's doing great. I just want just a little bit more. Just a little bit of awesomeness. Just
I definitely think it's set it up for the rest of the season, though. So I'm kind of curious to see like how the relationship's going to be and like whether or not. Because I mean, I agree. I think the widow like totally knows what Tilda's doing.
We also got our lighthouse moment.
So.
Oh, lighthouse special of the week. We had some Moon and some Lydia things happening.
Some relationships
happening.
happening.
I was like, oh, you got turned down so hard, sir.
It's kind of funny how like you think that like all these characters don't have a relationship or pre-existing relationship, but then like you realize they do. Like in some form of way, like, oh yeah, well this person was with this person, or this person talks to this person. And I was like, wait, there's probably next thing you know, it's like, you know, Baji. I was gonna say Baji and Moon, which they have a relationship. Baji and like Lydia. I was like, well, who does Baji probably not have a relationship with, or who does like each character not have a relationship? But I mean, the characters are so like, eccentric in the sense of where they're probably all going to intertwine with each other, or they've already intertwined with each other.
It's a really small world.
Yeah, super small world.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see those unfold, especially this relationship, because we got to learn a lot about Moon and where he stands. Because as much as he's been telling us, like,
so soft.
yeah, he turned into just the most giant, cute little baby,
like the biggest teddy bear I've ever seen. I was like, you just killed people, and then now it's like, but I love you, and I was like, all right,
Gotta turn it on.
I know
bring it back.
pretty much one rule as Regent. He was about to break it.
Because he doesn't care. It's for Lydia, and I was like, okay, and Lydia's like, back up.
He was looking
I
for
mean,
a
hey,
reason to like exist, though.
I
Right,
know.
and in his defense, Lydia is really awesome.
Yeah.
As a character,
Yeah.
she's beautiful, obviously, and she's
Like,
incredibly smart. So
If we think of the old form of
Great
marriage
taste.
as just a contract, and and you're forming a like you want Lydia on your team. Like Lydia's,
I would, yeah.
as she stated in this episode, if there's one thing I've learned, it's how to survive, and it's definitely something that he could use. He almost didn't, and now he's almost hunting for his own death. Like, you didn't finish the fight. Okay, but dude, you're alive. You should just run with that. Just take that with you.
He's a man of honor, so he's just looking for his retribution from Baji and from
And from Sunny.
and from Sunny. So I mean, I would think it's more so like the guy who chopped off your arm, not the guy who let you live. But I guess it's like both. So
Yeah. And I'm with Baji on this. I'm like, if I have a day to live, I'm just gonna go for it.
Baji is like the most surprising character because you think you look at his build like, oh, this guy can't fight. This guy can fight, and the next thing you know, he's an abbot. And what other surprises are we gonna find out about Baji this season?
Anything goes.
yeah, also it's like if he's healing people through the feet, why doesn't he do
find the
that
pressure
with
points.
the baby? Or obviously the baby's sick in
I don't know,
different ways.
in different
but it's
ways,
like,
yeah,
but still,
yeah.
I feel
I
like
think
he
this
should
felt
be
like-
doing
Does the
some
baby need to be
chi,
healed,
some
though?
daily chi on the baby.
It's a gift.
If it looked like
Is it?
acupuncture, I don't know if he's healing her so much as taking away her pain.
Yeah, he's
It
like
looked
doing pressure
he's hitting
points.
A pain blocker.
He's doing some pressure
The
points.
baby's
baby.
also in pain. Baby's
No,
so
I mean,
That's possible,
you're right.
he's
Maybe.
crying all the time. He's
crying.
Yeah.
So
Because he has
That
the
actually
gift.
would be very helpful. Shh, baby, we are hiding.
And
This is
sleep.
war.
Just a little Baji, just a
Man,
little
I bet
little,
parents
yeah, little
everywhere were like,
golden
damn, I need to.
They
fix
could
my
have. They could have
chi."
totally used that in a quiet place.
Go night night, okay?
Oh, God.
Quiet place. I'm like, psh.
Oh god.
Good times.
Yeah. But yeah.
Awesome segue to the mom for all of us. I feel.
Yes, our
Yes.
big sis.
Maria.
Exactly. So, guys, want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life? For those who do, have we got the podcast for you? Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition, is hosted by our very own TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life. From health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more, let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free, and be sure to rate and comment. And when you do, let Maria know that it was the AfterBuzz panel that sent you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out.
Say Into the
Nice,
Badlands. There's so many panels on after.
Into the Badlands panel.
She'll be like, good.
Specifically, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so back to Into the Badlands. We were talking about Sunny and Baiji, and when they kind of go into the bowler hat
Yes.
So
Yeah.
angry.
Amazing.
I hate this thing.
And it's being run by a kid, but I guess he's just by default.
Because
Yeah.
everyone else got killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this
In
person died,
the
this person died,
alleyway
this
of
person died.
death.
It's like war.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Sniper
surprised
alley? Is that what
that
they're calling it?
It's cool because it actually reminds me of a level I played in Ninja Gaiden 2, where essentially you just kind of have to cross that, and the way that they actually got over is actually really smart with the mirrors and distracting, and
Right.
the fact that how Sunny only figured out it was only one archer, because you think it's so many, but the way they devised it, and of course you have that the girl who was follow, and then she got
Ren.
Yeah, Ren, and I was just like,
So
of course that's
angsty.
gonna happen, of course that's gonna happen, it's like. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed that scene.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene, and the setting actually reminded me of a different video game, Destiny, because there's a level like that.
I know.
Yeah,
I
super
knew
hardcore.
exactly what you mean.
Right.
Nerd alert, nerd alert.
It's totally that level.
I just kept it to myself.
But it was really cool how it seemed like this alleyway of death, and how Sunny was able to figure out like it's actually one dude because of the
that was
trajectory.
so cool.
One
Just, like,
badass dude,
yeah,
though.
he showed his like experience and badassness, and just completely schooled that kid.
He's really much like the Jack Bauer of like Into
Right.
the Badlands. Like anything you can think of, like in terms of experience, he's like the man.
It's cool to see. I love when Sunny's on a one-track mind. Like, so the first season is like, get back at my Baron. The second season is like, save my wife and child. And this season is like, get my child to a safe space where he can heal.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, that directness really translates when we get moments like, I'm your, like, you're not Baron, but
Regent.
Regent.
And I
I'm the
was like-
Regent.
And as soon as he said that, I was like, this is gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Baji was so excited. He's like, look at my man. Look at him put in the time. He knows what's up. And then from the mirrors, and even to the point where he's like, look, this guy's now a prisoner of war. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fine. Like, this idea that he can still save everybody, even though he can't, is what makes him like a true, authentic hero. It's so
Yes.
fun to watch his journey.
Yeah, and it was cool to see him kind of get his groove back. We saw, he was kind of a struggling dad for a minute right in the
Yeah.
beginning of the season, and he's been trying to figure out how to help his child. But like when he was in his element again, he truly shines. Like he
Never lost a step.
Yeah, he's so confidently was like we're gonna power through this thing like right now, like in a couple hours.
It just shows you,
That's
like, in terms
happening.
of like weaponry, it's like, oh, you can use a crossbow. It's like, actually, I was trained on the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's much better. Like,
Please.
it's much better than
Child's
crossbow.
play.
It's much better than crossbow. And then it shows because like I just really like Sunny's character.
Right.
He's really growing on me just in terms of like where his character's like developing and where he's gonna go for the rest of the season. So
I was having really terrible because I'm playing God of War right now. And I'm
Yes.
having weird moments. Where I was like, boy, like, just randomly throughout the show, I was like, somebody tell this boy to go. Go read something. Go,
Yeah,
just go. Get out of the
yeah.
way. Adults are talking. Like it was just really funny to me. But no, but it just like Joelle was actually mentioning it earlier while we were watching it. Just like we don't get a lot of Sunny's intelligence, mostly just because of the fact that we're so deep in dialogue, but when we actually get to see him play out things and plan, like you just sit there and go, God, Sunny is so smart. Every
Yeah.
time, especially with the flame arrows to distract and kind of cloud, or not cloud, but create a smoke and things like that. To
Right.
smoke him out, pretty much.
And
I thought
like
it was really
light
cool.
up obviously
Yeah.
the mirrors in darkness to kind of like
Yeah.
have
That was so
more
cool.
of a
I love
advantage.
that part too. Like, and you see like that POV shot of the sniper and how the flame arrow really brights up his scope because he was using that night vision. It was
Right.
so brilliant. Like, although
how does he have night vision?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right? And then to Sunny's like also point that like he just assumed that he would have night vision too, just like covering all of his
Yeah.
bases to really take down this guy. Like his intelligence is shown through his tactfulness in
telling you,
like
man.
battles and also like fighting.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he figured out
Yeah.
exactly what was going on in like a second.
The Jack Bauer
Yeah.
of Into the
He pretty
It's
much like figured out a plan better than any of the bowlers could in like 5 minutes.
It's just I think the one thing that like I want to stress and what he was stressing is like it's not my war. It's not like I don't want to be here. I
Right.
don't want to do this. All I want is safe passage. But like the other guy's like I don't care. And even when in the end when he wanted to save him, he's like I don't, and then the I think I just slit his throat. I was just like, oh my god, like what are you doing? This guy's like redemption right here.
I call
Well,
it too.
I like that moment from Arthur just because, like, this was essentially trench warfare,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Above ground
yes.
trench warfare.
Yeah.
And I watched everybody die. You killed all my leaders. You killed half of my friends. Why would I let that guy live? Like, of course he's going to die. And then we rectify all that at the end where Arthur's telling the story about
What
Sunny.
happened,
Yeah,
yeah.
about Sunny. And, like, it was so cool watching him.
He's like
You
doing the
see-
motion.
Well, and you see him light up like
Yeah.
a child lights up when they tell a story of like,
course.
oh, it's so cool. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, these babies.
It's like my
Yeah.
dad did
Save
this. It's
them.
really cool.
It's so scary. But it also
Yeah.
kind of sets up. We've been like looking at the legend of Sunny for like a really long time. My question to you guys is, do you think Sunny, we know he could be a Baron. Do you think there's a world in which he becomes a Baron? I feel like that's where we're
Sunny, you mean?
heading. Yeah,
mean,
because I
could
don't think
be.
he can escape the war. Like he keeps saying, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this. But like
Right.
most warrior story is like, you're gonna have to fight anyway, dude.
Right. I mean, I think he would reluctantly take the position because it's like necessary. Like
Exactly.
I don't think he wants it for his own ambition, but I feel like he realizes that like it's sort of a duty.
I think
and it's like
I think that's a good point that you actually brought up. I think we actually probably might see that in like this season or the future seasons, which will be a good storyline. But I think in the end, he's always going to be a Clipper at heart. Those tattoos, like just all the training he's had. I feel like that's probably going to be, Killer. He's just gonna be a killer.
Also, yeah, I completely agree with what JB said too. I believe that Sunny is going to be the reluctant Baron that will save the Badlands in the overall end, especially if he wants to keep his kids safe. And the only way to do that is to control where his kid is growing up in. Yeah. And if he wants to see a better life for his kid, he needs to take control of that life for him, for his future.
Yeah, and I feel like if we do continue with more seasons, which we all want, that I feel like if he does end up hitting that level of being a Baron, then we'll have that time jump of seeing him as a kid, or being a kid or teenager or something like that. Not Sunny, his actual kid. And then finally getting to see how he grows up and how he has to deal with these new Badlands, or if he is in Azra or wherever the wind takes them.
You mean like we wanted with Carl? Ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just show hopping.
No, we're show hopping in AMC. Yes,
yes.
But that's exactly what I mean. Is that I want a better storyline for this kid actor whenever we get to that point, and seeing Sunny as a Baron, and then maybe him finally passing the torch off to him, and then Sunny ends up dying for whatever reason, and then we get to follow his story, this kid's story.
Totally.
You know, yeah, I think it'd be dope.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like in a lot of ways, Lydia is kind of in the same position, where she's like not one that, she's not like, yeah, I want to be a Baroness or whatever. Like, she didn't even care about the title.
And that's why she went with Viceroy.
Yeah,
but like, again, I think it's she realized that it was like a necessary thing that she had to do, because she has a capability and like the smarts to pull it off. Not that she wants to at all.
But how crazy was it? We haven't seen her go back to the fort since it went down, and that was kind of crazy watching her kind of slowly walk up to it and kind of just realizing, oh, I don't really know much except for that one maid. I don't really know anybody else here because her entire family's dead.
Although Marianne
is,
I think that was her name.
Yeah.
She does say, you'll always be a Baroness to us.
Oh, I love that.
Which is a really interesting. Well, we don't really get a sense that the people are loyal to their Baron. Like since the beginning, it's been kind of like wishy-washy. Some people are loyal to specific people.
I mean, it is Quinn. Like, it's hit and miss with that guy in general.
When he's in his right mind, maybe. But yeah, so it's interesting to me to think that she could have an uprising against the Widow. I mean, depending on how many people in that fort remain loyal to her. I'm also curious to see if Lydia, like, where her morality really lies. Do you guys think she's neutral or just playing the game really well?
She's playing the game.
I think she's playing the game.
I feel like that's how Lydia's always been.
Then where is...
I don't think she has like a specific agenda other than to be like a helpful
survival, maybe
person, like survival and like
her own survival.
Ruling with dignity and like without like there were so many corrupt leaders, Quinn. Specifically, but I think she's trying to change all that, and like in the same way that I would hope Sunny would be if he was a Baron.
So then her goal is beyond just survival; it's to rule.
Yeah, well, I think she wants it because she knows that she can do it better and for the right reasons.
Interesting.
So
I don't think she's like, I want to be like Baron one day. Like,
so then she's morally good.
Yeah, I think she's morally good.
Interesting.
But she also plays the game like a pro.
She does.
People in the chat are asking, where is Jade? Because apparently Ray Watts said that might have been Ryder in Jade's house, not the fort.
Where is Jade? Is she still alive?
I thought she was dead.
No, she was.
Oh, she like ran away.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They let her like roam. Pretty much, they said like let the Badlands take her, kind of.
Oh, that's right.
So we haven't seen from her.
Yeah, she might come back.
I'm thinking that's a card that the writers will play.
Sure.
Later.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's still something familiar to Lydia, which I thought was very interesting. The fact that she's living in a house, whether it's Jacoby's or Ryan and Ryder's and Jade's or the fort, it doesn't really matter. But the fact that she's going back to her old stomping grounds is pretty huge, I feel. But yeah, I'm assuming that Jade's gonna play a bigger role, or that actress is just busy. We don't really know. It's just,
we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't strike. She was, very good. I think. Getting Ryder whipped, but the bar is not very high. So I don't know how well she would survive in the Badlands. I feel like she's savvy enough to maybe pick it up, but she's clearly not like. I don't think that we're gonna see like an army led by Jade.
Can you imagine? She just shows up. I'm here to take the Badlands over because you guys messed up.
I see Jade being a really good madam, though.
Oh, that would be interesting to see her somewhere down the road and she has her own place. That'd be very interesting.
I could totally see her doing that.
Yeah, and taking advantage because she was taking advantage. Yeah.
Whoa! What if she linked up with the Widow?
Oh, and we just don't know?
Well, no, I mean, I feel like that would be, like, they would see eye to eye a little bit more than a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Jade would follow the widow better
Right.
than
For
most
sure.
of the
That's
widow's
what I mean,
folks
yeah.
right
Yeah.
now, for sure.
Interesting.
She can take instructions.
Because I feel like it's either hit and miss with Jade. It's either she would do really, really well to the story, or be like, we don't really need her back. It's never like a middle ground for her. So, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. It'd have to be all or nothing, I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of all or nothing, if you guys are listening to us on iTunes, definitely drop us a review. 5 stars, obviously, because we're the best.
Because we're the best.
Because we're the best.
But and we're
best
very
looking
modest about it. So,
Very
but no,
humble
yeah,
here.
if you guys like it, definitely drop us a review. We love reading those, and obviously your comments on YouTube. So keep that up. We'll definitely have fan shout outs every episode at the end too.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to talk about MK getting his powers back.
Yes.
Yo,
Because
I was not a fan
That-
of how that went down.
I was very intrigued because we did not need blood to get his powers back.
Which is,
also, is he like protesting and just being anorexic? Is that why they needed a feeding tube him? That whole thing was like very strange to me. The reasoning why.
I think based off last week's episode where he had the OD, then they chained him to the bed, and then he's not really there. Like he's like, you guys gotta let me go, and she's like, well, you tried to kill yourself, so I'm not letting you do anything. I don't think they're letting him do anything. I don't think he's got time to like get up and like work his muscles, which is bad if you're gonna ask him to fight later. You gotta keep him in fighting shape. So now they're just force feeding him what looked like orange juice and or raw egg yolk.
so
Very
much.
grossed out. It was just kind of like too thick for me. I was like, what is happening here? Is this like a
trying to make like a-
Gatorade with like some protein?
Probably make a
protein shake.
Yeah.
Protein shake.
Ugh.
Imagine if that was the only way he got his power back. I'm like, you have to go through these exact same circumstances, and you have to eat this exact same concoction every single time for you to get your power back.
I think it was just a stressor.
I think so too.
the idea was
Panic.
just-
His body was going to panic mode.
yeah, and
So,
just survival
so do you think
instinct.
it's stress and panic now as opposed to getting cut open?
I think
Which will
both
trigger
would
it?
probably work.
I mean, it
think
kind of
what-
works being cut and everything like that. That stress and adrenaline and everything like
Yeah.
that probably hit him in a certain way. I
Right.
don't know.
I mean, and when we saw the other two black-eyed people,
Yeah.
that's how they triggered it on themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely blood related. I would hope that it'd be more controllable, so you didn't have to cut yourself.
Yeah.
And Alexa
To
pointed out that we were
initiate
seeing
it.
his blood do some weird thing when the widow cuts him early in the episode.
Right.
It looks like was his blood coagulating?
It was doing some weird stuff.
I don't know.
It was
Yeah.
It did
animated
not seem to
weird.
be flowing
Yeah.
like regular bloods. I don't know if that was,
Intentional or not.
Yeah.
not good enough animation or if it was something that was happening to
Yeah.
it. But they did linger on the cut for a while, which makes me think it was
Right.
intentional.
Yeah. No, I actually did notice that, so I'm glad he brought that up. I mean, hopefully it was intentional in some way. I mean,
I mean, because even when he gets cut at the end,
I mean,
with the
that was
big
a
rig-
giant. That was a giant
He's like,
butterfly knife. Just or not
yeah,
knife,
he
but
just like
that.
walked that
yeah.
off.
He was just like,
That was,
He's
that
like,
was
I'm
like,
just
my,
gonna
that was like
kill
my
you.
favorite. Just like, okay.
It's just random.
like, hold on a second. Okay, let me just like.
Yeah,
sit this
sorry,
down.
I just got
Into
hit by
my
an
ribs.
star.
Like, where did this come from?
I was
Pull
like,
this out.
how are you
Yeah.
able to? You know what?
Well, I think it's gonna be a challenge. sir. You
Yeah.
need that.
Also, it's like that dude. It's like worst throw ever. You got him, but like, dude, maybe aim for
The neck,
his
the head.
back's turn, maybe
Right.
the head.
He was
He didn't
looking
even
at
know
the
you.
maps.
But it's just kind of funny what MK said. He's like, remember what I said? What was gonna happen when I got my power back?
Right.
You know, and then he just, yeah, it was just like I just love that part about like MK, where it's just like revenge and just kind of just like going after the widow. So
Yeah,
he's
it
always
was super
about
cool.
revenge.
And he,
she's always, about revenge. She's always evening the score and stuff like that.
and that move he did, like to kick both
Oh,
of you guys
yeah.
at the
So
same time,
dope.
was so sick.
Yeah.
Again, they're all about that. Like,
shout outs to the
cyclone
shout outs to the
move.
fight choreographers and the wire warp team. on the
Yo,
show.
I'm gonna let Joelle take this one because the noise that she made when Tilda stepped in.
Oh my
was
god!
So funny.
I'm so pissed. Look, this. I know you love the widow. I totally get the emotional strings of this, and I'm again not faulting the writers. This is a good call because it's true to the characters.
It's
but
definitely true to her character.
damn it, girl! So close. The blood would not have been on your hands. MK wanted to kill her. She's been pretty awful to everybody for a hot minute, and she's definitely standing in your way. If she's gone, you could take over that compound. People already know you. They know your face. They're gonna follow you. We already know that Moon doesn't really want to kill you. Moon's like, whatever. He's just looking for Sunny. It does not matter where he lands other than that, except maybe in Lydia's pants. Like, you could have had everything. And so for you to just
Touche.
step in and be like, not this way. What way, girl? How are we gonna do it? I don't know.
Oh, I need that on a
That's
shirt.
amazing.
Maybe in Lydia's pants. We don't know.
You went down.
Oh,
Do you think if he
good Lord.
wasn't a regent, Lydia would have gone for it? Or do you think she has any feelings for him? Or do you think she was just kind of like, dude,
Lydia
hiding
definitely
behind
has feelings for him.
For
We saw
sure.
it in the longing look
Okay.
after he left. I think that Lydia is not prepared to lose again. I think like she was using that as an excuse. Like,
Right.
you know, you can't do that, like, because love would be bad. But
Yeah,
honestly,
he was so heartbroken.
The widow's so distracted, I don't think that she would care or notice what the hell is going on with those guys. Like, maybe later down the road, she would be like, I gotta keep an eye on these two because they're powerful and they
Right.
could
Yeah.
dethrone me. But I think, honestly, she's like, look, I lost my husband, even though she had such a messed up relationship with that dude. There was definitely love there, despite the fact that it's a very abusive and terrible,
very-
toxic relationship.
It was a loving partnership.
Yeah.
Is what that was.
And then, you know, she lost her son, she lost her status, she lost her father.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's ready to love again and face that loss. And in his job, any day he could die. So I think that was her decision.
Especially because she knows now that Moon wants to go against Sunny to get
Mm-hmm.
revenge. So,
Again, literally asking for his own death.
yep.
So stupid.
She's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
I've
especially
already done
since
this.
like he lost already. It's like, dude, you think that round 2 is gonna be different? Probably not.
Sonny's definitely going to be a different person when they meet the
That's
second
so
time
true.
around.
Yeah.
And we saw him as he almost went to go cut the guy, Chow's guy, and couldn't. I don't know how much more killing Sonny can actually do. I think immediate threat.
Sure.
Threat to Henry, absolutely. He
agree.
has the capacity to kill. But if it's not a necessary kill, I think he's done with it.
I'm going
Right.
to piggyback on what you said. He doesn't get pleasure from it anymore.
yeah,
He's
no.
not, it's not, you're right, it's totally for his son, and it's just whatever, get in the way, but he's not like, oh, there's going to be, at the thousands, freaking like tattoo and everything else like
Yeah.
that. But I guess we're just seeing the development of his character. And like we said, in previous, episodes, how when you have a kid, it changes you. It makes you softer.
And I think it will still, I mean, that fight's going to be crazy, but I think Moon's going to push it to the point where maybe he finds Henry or gets a hold of Henry.
Yeah.
And then that's when we'll see Sunny snap.
I really don't want to stop rooting for Moon, but if you touch
Yeah.
Henry, I cannot.
No, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
Leave the kid
mad.
alone.
because we
Leave the
had
kid
that
alone.
moment this episode where we
Yeah.
got to see a human side of him, and we're like, okay, now you can humanize Moon just a little bit, but then he's gonna cross that line because pride is more important to him than anything. So he's gonna be like,
course.
oh, I'm sorry, what is this? And it's just gonna be like, oh my god.
Don't forget, Baji's still in the
You're
mix.
scaring me.
Baji's somehow still in the mix, so.
That is also true. I don't think Baji is clearly bonding with Henry.
Oh yeah.
So I don't
Uncle
think
Baji.
Yeah.
With
Uncle Baji,
with
yes.
Henry cooing in the corner, it's just like you can't. Like,
Henry Coos.
Yeah, just because every time the little subtitle comes up, I'm like,
Oh,
oh.
it's the best.
Coos,
It's literally the best. Whoever's typing that.
He's just like,
Bravo.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Moon too, but when the eventual face-off
Showdown.
Yeah.
does the showdown happens,
It's gonna be bad. Yeah, Team Sunny all day.
All day.
You know who I did like and now have questions for? Ren. Girl, when
Ren.
someone saves your life.
Yeah, we're talking about
You
people
just
on
say
their
thank you.
shit list. Number 1, she's the worst.
I agree with that completely, but I also understand because the fact that she's only known, I guess, war this entire time.
Sure.
And so I understand where her perspective is, but girl, you know,
This is the
like
perfect
it's not fair.
It was
Not
totally,
to fight.
Yeah,
it was
just
totally
hang out.
very like the situation was kind of like Forrest Gump, right? When Forrest Gump saves Lieutenant Dan and then he pulls him out and then he doesn't have any legs anymore and he's like, what am I supposed to do right now? I don't have any legs, and everything else like that. And he's like, do you know what it's like to not have legs? Like, actually, yes, sir. I do, So it's kind of like that in that same sense where I think eventually now, like, she kind of resents Baji for doing it, but I think eventually she's not going to be a doll. She's not going to do this. Like, I think she'll find her place.
Hopefully, because she is about to get slapped across the face.
No, I was not a fan of that. I was just like, really? This is the time to look at a second chance, but I also understand that you're
How many
jaded
arrows
by
did she
that.
get in the leg? Like, I was
got
watching.
three.
I was like watching. I was like, don't save her, don't save her. I was like, don't save her. Of course, like Sunny, saved her, but I was like, if that was like one of you guys, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh,
We gotta go.
No, I'll be like, no. I said we both were like,
Shut it,
leave her, leave her.
leave her, dude.
It's over.
I was like,
Now you
it's
can see where
over.
he's aiming at it. Everything's fine. He's distracted. It's cool.
I will say this about Ren. I get it, girl. Like, totally
No, yeah.
understand. You're making a lot of sense. I kind of hope she goes toward, like, someone needs to be recording this history. It's one of the things I find interesting that the show hasn't addressed yet. Usually in post-apocalyptic situations, especially when you've built entire societies out of it, someone starts recording this stuff for posterity. I think Ren is who knows all sides of this, from the doll sides to the fighting and the action to the barons. I think she could do a really great recording of it, and it'll also be interesting to see her go around with a Baji even just to explore things. My biggest problem with her freaking out is that she was killing Baji's spirit. love Baji. I love that he was like, but it's
like, you're
gotta
welcome.
get better, right? Well, not even that, but it's gotta get better. Like, Baji believes in a better future. It's why he hopped on that motorcycle at the end of season 2 to restart everything, to get the signal out. He believes in a better future, and so to have saved someone and hopefully,
Yeah,
you know,
he literally saved her life.
yeah, he's like, oh, so hopeful. Like, I did everything I could, and she's gonna live, and it's gonna be great. And she's like, I would be better off dead. And you just see all of this stuff inside of him.
Fine.
Like,
Kill yourself then.
Yeah.
Like, you still get,
that's not
you can
Baji.
do that.
Baji's more like, okay, how do I bring
Yeah.
her more hope? Because that's where he comes. I just love him so much. He's a giant teddy bear, and anybody who
Nick
does any harm
Frost.
to Baji is instantly on my bad list.
Yeah,
I
like
can't.
straight
Yeah,
up.
no, I agree. Plus, she was pretty basic like before that all went down too. Like,
Now she has a
even that great of a
personality.
warrior.
Thank you,
Just
Baji.
saying.
Thank you.
when they're all when
Now we have some
Sunny was,
substance to her
laying
character.
down the
The
plan,
shade that is
was-
happening.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
Yeah, I mean, like when they're about to start the insurgents
yeah.
into the alleyway, she was just like
Woof.
giving Sunny lip.
Also,
Like,
let's get you a
girl,
sniper rifle.
what?
There's a leg is not, like a missing leg is not as debilitating as people think.
guy
Like,
in
we
the
can make that
wheelchair?
work.
Waldo?
Waldo.
Yeah.
Waldo.
Waldo was one of
He
the
was a
best.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the best
clippers. He trained
and
Sunny.
he still
Trained
fought
Sunny.
in that wheelchair, girl.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called
Many options.
training.
I know it's fresh, but
It's
you have a lot
just
of
You
options.
got time.
Perspective.
You've got
Perspective.
time. It's okay. When we see her again, she's gonna be doing
Yeah.
great, and she's gonna be. I'm sorry, I was an asshole.
gonna
like
thank Baji.
it's fine.
You know, if she doesn't want to
attitude
record history,
adjustments.
give her a sniper rifle. Like,
be-
let's make her the best sniper on
She
the
can just
team.
take up back up on
Sniper
that ledge
crossbow.
again.
Yeah,
It'll be
it'll be
fine.
fine.
It'll be fine. You got this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can do plenty.
Totally.
Don't be hating on our
Get outta
Baji,
here,
okay?
yeah.
He's the best.
On a more positive note, let's talk about our special segment, which is going to be Kill of the Week. We'll pick our
Yes.
favorite death.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Ren this episode, but maybe.
God.
that would have been
Or
like-
widow, damn it.
That would have been an epic death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked that.
Right
What?
for my
Sure.
brain.
Ooh,
Nice.
Watch out.
happening?
Ninja stars.
Kill
I love that.
You see
We
us,
need
like,
to use
ducking.
that way more often.
I know.
That's on that note, my favorite was probably when Tilda in the beginning just like whipped out her giant
Oh,
ninja
so
stars.
dope. He took mine.
It was so cool how she like
People
made
out.
them like into two and like
Yeah.
threw them both and like it just,
Oh, just like that.
yeah, exactly like that.
My favorite kill was Chow's sniper, just because it was kind of unexpected, but also so impactful. Like, you see something,
Ooh, yeah.
that one was
Oh,
gross. I don't
alright.
like that.
Okay,
That
all
we call
right,
it blood
okay.
splatter.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, that does not make it better.
That's a head being lopped off. by
Oh
the
my
way.
god.
Thank
you.
Just seeing Sunny kind of be despondent when he had really worked hard not to kill this dude because he understood.
Yeah.
It was impactful and it really pushed the story forward.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, and I also like the fact that Sunny's like so smart. You know, shout out to the Predator with the reference where he like literally did he kick the board over and then it cut the string?
I think he just like he like kicked it with his
kicked
back,
it, yeah.
back leg.
He kicked it and then
Yeah.
the arrow flew out.
Right, yeah.
and everything else
Yeah.
like that. So I was like,
Yeah,
I
he
like
used his
that.
own
yeah.
trap
It's
against
very its own
pretty
trap. So
bad.
it's
Yeah.
pretty much like very similar to like Predator.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
that's all like that. Even though it wasn't a kill.
Super awesome.
For me, even though it was more of a sad kill that like kind of hurt my feelings, or not feelings, but it hurt my soul, was our archer being his throat being slit. That was rough.
Womp, womp, womp.
Mostly because of the fact that I was expecting it, but I didn't know how he was gonna do it. I thought he was just gonna just straight up stab him, but like the throat slit was intense.
Yeah, and Sunny like stayed with him. Like,
Oh yeah, the entire time, and but also at the same time, I also really liked when MK was like, "What the?" and then just like threw it back
I
at
thought
him.
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought that was the funniest part of the episode.
Wow.
I was like, I'm watching that. I'm like, hold on a
It's like,
second.
dude, really?
It looked like it was like an itch. It was like, oh, what is that? Get it off me. Oh, I was like, all right.
He's like, I'm
MK.
just gonna go clean this up.
Yeah, I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
cough was
You
off.
come in or what?
It's like, hold my beer for a second.
Yeah.
Let me take care of this.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. But yeah, it made
it's
me laugh.
very, very funny.
Yeah.
Unintentionally so, probably.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what
Yeah.
everybody
yes.
that has been chiming in our chats and stuff. Let's see what you guys enjoyed. We'll do a fan shout out.
Well, I will. Yeah. So go ahead and put your favorite kills or deaths of this episode in the
Yes,
chat while you
definitely.
do that. Our fan of the week is from RVS Black Feather. She left a comment on last week's episode. She goes, "Joelle's on this panel. Yay! I do love this show, and I'm hoping the priestess. I'm assuming that's or the witch, I guess.
Yes.
The priestess with Pilgrim. Wait, no. Is that the same person?
That's the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a good person who takes down the widow. However, most likely it will be Tilda who takes her mom down. I'm with it. And I was like, I'm with you on
I
that.
would
as
not
well.
mind if Tilda hooked up with Pilgrim and that crew because their
yeah.
powers with her information would
With
be
our powers
stellar.
combined.
Exactly.
We will become Killer
Especially
Planet.
now that she's
Plus-
got MK with her too.
Yeah, and when Castor dies, because he's been bleeding from the
definitely-
ears.
Oh, gosh.
Castor's
This entire
Might be a
time.
job opening for old MK.
Oh god, that'll be interesting.
Well, especially since obviously now he's not gonna link back up with Sonny because
Yeah.
you know, Sonny killed his mom.
And yes, in the previous episode.
I'm still
Yeah.
not convinced that that's a clear memory.
I totally agree with Joe in that sense. I feel like it might be kind of like a bait and switch in the sense of where like that's what you think, but when the actual vision comes out, it was actually someone else who did it. So, but we're just gonna have to
that.
wait and see. You know,
Totally.
the
Well, yeah.
rest of the
Speaking of
season.
that, let's make some predictions for next
Predictions.
episode.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Sonny is in chains in the preview, and I don't appreciate it. Who has captured him and why? Where is the baby? Is it okay? I'm very nervous about next week. The odds are not in our favor.
Yeah, because it's very confusing.
Chaos people.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, you just killed one of his one of her archers, so like main
One man
sniper.
holding down a fort for forever. It's,
Yeah,
it's a pretty devastating loss for her.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. So I would assume that she's like, what are you doing?
What's happening here?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, obviously because they're powering through that one choke point.
Yep.
It only makes sense that they're going to go into Chow's territory, so we can assume that might
Yeah.
not go super well.
I think I'm gonna make a bold prediction in the sense where I think someone else is probably gonna lose a hand. You know, like I know it's like I don't know who, but I think when it comes to like maybe Baji
No.
or someone's gonna lose a hand.
Why a hand
Well,
specifically?
Hand for a hand, I
A
guess.
hand for a hand. So if you look at Moon, like how he lost his hand and everything else like that. So
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm very intrigued to see more of the Pilgrim doing his shtick.
Yeah, we didn't see any pilgrims.
Yeah,
this
not
We're
in
gonna
this
get,
episode.
but we're gonna get it next episode. So I
Right.
think that's gonna be interesting to see him fighting whoever, you know.
Yeah, it'll be cool to watch, how these two big factions are kind of like slowly moving towards each other.
Also, in our news, I'm so sorry.
No.
Just
Go
Louis
for it.
Tan is coming next week.
Oh, yeah. So
Finally.
The
What up?
news.
Louis Tan.
News and gossip.
News and gossip, really quick. Sorry, do you want to repeat that? 'Cause it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Louis Tan, who, if you were able to make it to episode 8 of Iron Fist, he was the drunken master. He should have been Iron Fist. He
Correct.
is amazing. His father is an old Hollywood stunt person, so he's been like in the industry for a really long time. He knows all about it. He's got a dope British accent, and he's just super amazing. Rick Hong and I did an interview with him last year, which you can find over on Popcorn Talk. I'm hoping to bring him in here to talk about the role. I've been blowing him up. He's kind of a mega star now. He may not reach out, but if he does, it'll be really cool because he kicks so much ass, and I've been dying. Like, if you follow him on Instagram, he's been sharing his stories of filming Into the Bad. Like, he wanted to be on the show so bad. He's a fan of it first, and then got to be in it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see him come on the show, and especially because I think he's playing like this kind of evil slime.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
really looking forward to that.
Especially because like we technically have dealt with the Widow for so long that we don't really have a new villain kind of. So this will be kind of nice, even though we have that Moon Sunny
Dynamic.
Yeah, but I want something different. Just
That's a really
little
good
bit.
point. Everyone's really bogged down in the relationship aspects of
Yeah.
things. It'll be nice to meet somebody back in who's just like bloodlust.
Yeah.
So that's where the show is fun.
Yeah, because I feel like we've like put into concrete like all of our relationships and all of these people for the past 2 seasons. Now it's the 3rd season, and we had the new barons and baronesses. That was our new person last season. So now it's like, okay, who's our new person this time besides the Pilgrim and their entire cult that I still don't understand. But it's just really nice to see him. Also, he's fine as hell.
He's so sexy.
Yeah.
Join us, Louis.
No, seriously,
Oh,
please.
yeah, no.
Also,
I agree.
you know
Yeah,
what?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, he's a handsome
He's
gentleman.
also going to be in
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
Yes,
Deadpool 2.
he's also going to be in
Yes.
Deadpool 2. Yeah,
Very
yeah,
cool, very
Deadpool
cool.
2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously a lot to look forward to. But until then, where can the fans keep up with you guys?
Find me on Instagram at yourboyjyang.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique. If you're in Ontario, California on the 19th and 20th, come say hi to me over at Comic-Con. I've got 2 Star Wars panels, including one completely on General Thrawn, which I'm so excited about. I'll also be doing a panel on Darkwing Duck and talking to Jason Aaron about his like phenomenal comic scalped. I cannot wait. If you guys follow Nerdist, they have a documentary coming out about Black Panther. I'll also be in there, so check those things out.
Sweet. I'm Alexis Torres. You guys can find me all over social media at atorres890. I do a bunch of after shows. I'll be doing one every day of the week this week, and I do some awesome stuff with Geek and Sundry that's going to be coming out towards the end of the month, and also Nerd Soul podcast. It comes out every second Saturday of the month. You should check it out. It's with Michael Young and Mark B. Donica.
Nice, a lot of good stuff out there. I'm JB. You guys can follow me everywhere at Hey John Blake. We will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.